Good afternoon. I welcome our fabulous speaker, Dr. Julian sir. Now we'll start our session with the introduction to our eminent speaker, Dr. Julian sir. Actually, Dr. Julian J. Kilaketotam, he has done a Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Information and Communication Engineering. He has done a Doctor of Philosophy in the Faculty of Information and Communication Engineering, Master of Business Administration in Human Resource Management and Marketing, Diploma in Cyber Law, Master of Technology in Computer Engineering, Bachelor of Technology in Computer Science and Engineering. Currently serving as the Professor and Lead St. Gitt's Blockchain Labs in the Department of Computer Science at St. Gitt's College of Engineering. He has also served as the Principal in Musalier College of Engineering and Technology, Pathanamthitta, and has worked as the Head of the Department in the Department of Computer Science at St. Gitt's College of Engineering, Kottayam, and SJCET Pala. Both institutions have gained accreditation from the NBA. He has also reviewed and published more than 50 research papers in various reputed international journals and conferences. He has coordinated MTech syllabus revision for CSE in KTU Adoor cluster, currently a certified blockchain evangelist with interest in network security and social media analytics. He has also got several certifications from various concerns such as the Cisco Certified Network Associate, Red Hat Certified Engineer. He is also a member of various scientific bodies like the ISTE, NIPM, CSI, and IEEE. The list does not stop with that. He has also received many awards that include the Best Paper Award in the National Conference on Distributed Computing conducted at NMA, MIT, NITTE on 5th to 6th March 2004. And he got a prize in a paper presentation competition at Abhiyantriki National Level Technical Symposium conducted on 29th to 30th July 2005 by Rajagiri School of Engineering and Technology, Kochi. I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the wonderful introduction.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Can I share my screen now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I stop my presentation.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the wonderful introduction by Madam. And I'm really happy and I'm really respected to present myself and my ideas on blockchain and its various platforms before very eminent people in the IRTT, IRTT's Atal blockchain related short faculty development program. And today we will be discussing about the blockchain platforms. Basically, today morning when the Lakshmi sir discussed, he was telling about various frameworks. We can discuss the same frameworks in the name various platforms too. And we will be having a discussion on various applications and use cases. And also, in addition, I was trying to discuss on the research areas also. Anyway, when we discuss about the research areas and use cases, we will move a bit faster because of the time issues we are facing. And basically, we are all aware about I think the presentation is visible, right? Is the presentation visible?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Thank you. Thank you. And we're all aware about the blockchain hype or the development of blockchain technology for the past few years. In 2009, when it was initially started, with the initiation of Bitcoin, by the development of Bitcoin by Satoshi Nakamoto. It was a trending throughout its sequential development. Now we are also discussing a lot about the cryptocurrencies as well as various applications of blockchain, and it has provided a lot of hype with by comparing the various technologies. Here, as we have seen in the maps extracted from the Google search and citations, when compared with the artificial intelligence and cyber security, we can identify that blockchain is having a high performance of searching rate, while both AI and cybersecurity are systematically at its growth. Why this AI is having I'm sorry, blockchain is having a spiky growth? Just because uh, initially it had a better hype by coming into its technologies, and people were discussing anything and everything in between use related to blockchain. And then it was a bit overestimated explanation on blockchain, and now people are realizing where it can be used and how it can be used, and why it can be used. And then it's having a stable movement. And in 2021 January and all, again another hypo came on cryptocurrency, and Bitcoin and its supporting currencies gave a very high rating or a high growth in its value, where more people were moving into more people were moving into this blockchain area, and thus we are seeing a differential growth in blockchain, but still we should have to analyze on which rate the opportunities are happening and growing in past 5 years. According to the details of Gartner, which I have submitted before you, in from the 2016 to 2021, various sectors, including the infrastructure, public sector, manufacturing sector, distribution and services, and financial sectors, has grown to a very high rate. In 2016, when we discussed about blockchain, the implementations were very low while when compared to the 2019, 20, and 21. The implementations reached to a more than 80 percentage growth in each sectors, where total market cap came about 81 percentage when compared to the previous years of growth. So here, it means the opportunities happening in blockchain and its related sectors are presently on millions, based on the millions of dollars, and it happens because of the incorporation of trust in the system by using the blockchain and eliminating the intermediaries in all the possible areas. It can reduce the cost as well as improve the efficiency of the system. But we always have a confusion where to use a blockchain and how we should use a blockchain. As I told, in 2016 and 17, there was a big hype telling that everything was integrated, trying to get integrated with blockchain. But in course of understood that it's not the real way, and some specific components cannot be integrated with blockchain. But we should know where it can be used. Help of this wonderful block diagram or flow chart, you can give a clear idea. The first question regarding the usage of blockchain is if it needs a database. As you know, you need to trust there should be a set of transactions, and these transactions has to be stored somewhere. So it needs a database. So if you don't have a database to connect with, there you cannot implement a blockchain. First thing you should take care of that. If there is anything to be stored in the transactions in a database, then you can try, for some reasons you can go for a blockchain. I repeat, if you don't need if you don't have a database, you cannot use a blockchain. So in the next step means if more than one person or if many people are using that database, then there's a chance for using a blockchain. But if only one person is using this database, means there is no issues, or there is no matter in going for trust, right? Yes, there's no matter in going for trust, and so you don't need a blockchain. If many people are involving, there are issues. There are issues on trusting each other, and so we can go for usage of trust blockchain. And means again, if there are more people who are using the database, and all the people there are believing in each other, then again, if I am there, Bhuneshwari Madam is there, and many other participants over here linked together, and that all these people are connected together. They believe in each other's transactions. They live in each other's. They believe in each other's activities. Then again, you don't need a blockchain, because there is already trust entrusted, incorporated behind in that specific system. So if but still if there are many people and they are not believing in each other, or even at least there is a one case where one person who you cannot believe with, then there is a blockchain then blockchain can be a requirement. And again, if some people are over there and still you don't have much things to get tensed, because there is a common person who is related to all these people, and all these people believe in this common person, and he is going to manage all these things. Then still again, you don't need a blockchain. But if there is no person person in common to trust, who is who will be managing the system, then again you need a blockchain. I'm telling that if this common, I will repeat once more, there should be a database, and more than one person should manage the database. And if more than one person is managing, multiple people are managing, and there should be, if the all these people in that management of in that system are believing in each other or trusting in each other, then you don't need a blockchain. But if there is at least one party who is not trusting in, then you have to go for, you can go for a blockchain. And still, if if there is a one person or one entity who is who all other people involved are involved in the matter of trusting, and then also you don't need a blockchain, because if he is managing the scene, else you all need a blockchain. So why basically this blockchain is having this much hype is just because as you know, it is decentralized and distributed, and its system is divided in between various storage entities who are incorporated in the system. Here we have various types of mechanisms to manage the decentralization, and means maximum decentralized system can be identified as a permissionless public shared system, including Bitcoin as a good example, where anybody can purchase, anybody can have a wallet, anybody can sell it, and anybody can use it. there is no much permissions involved in connecting each other. Such systems will be maximum decentralized, and basically then another bit more centralized systems include the permissioned public shared systems where only permitted people will be selected for transaction, which decentralization level will be bit low. And finally, it will be very particular to the people who are permissioned, and to a specific group of people involving in a specific category where there might be employees of an organization or something like that. Then it comes to a permissioned private shared blockchain, a private shared system where you are having much more centralized capacity. And finally, the server client mechanism will be having 100% interactive situations, because the typical system will be 100% server client based mechanism. And here, when coming with, when we should discuss about the benefits of blockchain while using in business. When you go for it, basic benefits are the time, reduced time where transactions will be happening instantaneously, or in a very small amount of time, where you can directly do the transaction with the help of very fast decision making by using smart contracts. Then intermediaries are completely removed, and a direct communication on the direct transaction can be happening by eliminating the cost overheads and intermediaries, so that it cost is reduced. And it integrates with IoT and also some other mechanism, including AI in various aspects like supply chain or finance, where new business models will be incorporated. And risk will be comparatively very low, because it will be more secure, and it will be preventing the tampering and fraud management, because basically it is focusing on the trust, and data is encrypted within the specific systems and blockchain code. But I still will tell about four basic concepts. First one is the shared ledger, second one is the smart contract, third one is the security, and fourth one is the consensus, which we have to invest a lot of time to deal with. In the coming stages, I will be discussing about all these four components where research is happening in the later portion of the slide, just because these are the areas where maximum researches are happening, and people are really involving and contributing more to development, just to make the blockchain a more feasible and affordable one. And here, in the case of shared ledger, as I told in the decentralization methods, all the records will be shared and happen, will be storing in various nodes, where only distributed system records will be shared in the digital network. And because of this reason, if any tampering or changes happening in any single node, other nodes storing the records will be very alert about these things. And so that makes more decentralized and more powerful in all tampering as well as fraud involvement. And again, another one of the wonderful wonderful criteria, or one of the in this concepts, is a smart contract, where business terms are embedded in the transactions databases in the form of programs. And while each entities are functioning, or while specific transactions are happening, based on the programmed mechanism, this transactions will be controlled and managed and the system will be having an automated mechanism, but still decisions will be also taken or in an automated manner, where lots of cost involved will be reduced, and the decisions will be taken very wisely as well as systematically by using the smart contract. And third one is the security, as we all know, where we are ensuring the appropriate visibility, and the transactions are were kept very secure and authenticated. And this data stored in the ledger will be verifiable and credible. For this reason, and trust is maximum incorporated because we are keeping it secure with the knowledge encrypted systems in the database, where people involving will find difficulty in decrypting it while decrypting it and taking or stealing the data. So it ensures the security regarding that. And finally, but more wonderfully, consensus is another concept to get involved in the blockchain, where the each activities happening in the blockchain will be approved or rejected based on the agreement of the people who are involving in that transaction. If there are 10 people involving in a specific blockchain, and consensus is required to take decision, and each of the parties involving will be having some role in taking that decision, and this consensus will be verified in between by the parties, and they will be agreeing, they are coming to an agreement based on the credibility as well as the various types of consensus which we are using. And that is one of the thing to get functional. And then the basic three key areas where blockchain creates the greatest impact is it is like streamlining the internal processes, including the interactions with the suppliers and content service providers, where you will be reducing the cost by providing the faster throughput, and improving the functionality and experiences all the entities involved. So by using the blockchain, it surely supports a better involvement in the case of the interactions, and the developing services from the convert customers built in the blockchain will support identity management, mobile money transactions, digital asset management and transactions, etc., where credibility as well as security will be provided to all the money or all the transactions done in that specific system. And another wonderful thing is that collaboration with the automated components like IoT mechanisms, where the data taken will be analyzed and processed to take have certain decisions. And based on that details in the ecosystem, they will be providing more transparency and allow extended trust as well as security in the system. Now, we should have to identify how these blockchain applications function in the ledger. Surely, there are people called developers who are always involved in making applications. Same is in the case of blockchains. Developers will be involving in creating or building applications. Along with that, they are also responsible to address the smart contracts, which have to be decision-making components in the system. And basically, each transactions in the application will be passed to the smart contracts, and some result will be emitted from the input provided by the application entity, and it will be taking based on the value of that input. The smart contract will be having the capacity to take some decisions, and sometimes it will be just to fetch some data, or we can get data from the specific database or the world ledger stage where all these documents are stored, or you have to input some data or put that means storing some data to the blocks in the system or the databases. Here also there is another element called delete, where you are going to delete the data from the database, but since it is already stored in the blockchain, you cannot delete that data from the blockchain, but you can delete just get an entry that this data was deleted from this database by this specific person who deleted it. So each and every transaction happening in that means mechanism will be managed with the help of the consensus protocol and added to the blockchain. So also to get, you are when reading some value from the blockchain, then the APIs will be responsible for reading that value. But here, after for reading this, nothing will be updated yeah, in the blockchain, just because no transactions are happening, but only the specific person or specific entity who is having the privilege, I repeat, who is having the privilege to access that specific data will be checking that or just reading it. So at this ultimately, except to just read data, all other transactions happening in the blockchain will be stored in the system. And I would explain much more about the software stack, where you will be having a series of blocks involved for the doing the transaction. As this diagram indicate, you have a block T as well as block T plus 1, where each block will be having a block header, a transaction root hash which is linked with the previous value, then a contract hash connected with the smart contract, and all those things will be connected with the input and output mechanisms which is involved in the system. And here the block, each block will be connected with the previous block with a hash value, or means each storage will be having a hash value which is linked with the previous node, where any changes will be happening in the previous node will be linked with the subsequent node. And here the smart contract and the storage all interoperate together for executing the functions, and the virtual machines like Ethereum virtual machine EVM or Docker is responsible for running these engines, and the data in the data model layer will be managed also with the help of these type of mechanisms. So here, in the case of the blocks, there will be a consensus layer involved, where you will be having various consensus like proof of work, proof of service, or proof of elapsed time, etc. will be the various consensus which will be involved. Yes, coming to wonderful components of blockchain platforms, where I could discuss much more things to you, which you will be more aware of and you will be interested. As you have known already, there are various platforms or frameworks which are available in the blockchain scenario, where you will be interested to to know and get good ideas on how various platforms work and why you should go for it. Now we will be discussing on the same. From the 2009 when blockchain became very important by the emergence of Bitcoin, it has been in the mainstream technology. Now the blockchain has various working functionalities apart from the Bitcoin, and it is used in the industries. It is used in healthcare, technology, supply chain, logistics, and many other technologies field which we previously discussed. And it was designed and developed to create efficient, transparent business processes. And according to the experts, a blockchain market size is expected to grow to about 40 billion US dollars in 2025. I think we should have to identify, means there will be a tremendous growth making the increase in the blockchain platforms, and we can discuss now few blockchain platforms which I identified that you will be more helpful. Just before checking into various blockchain platforms, I will discuss about various things to be considered where when we check for which platform to be taken care to for a specific function to run. That is, for each specific functions, we should have to identify the peculiarities of that specific platforms or frameworks, so that you can provide maximum support for that specific use case. Basically, we should have to check for the centralization, how much centralized that specific use case is based on the functionalities, and based on that that functionality, centralization and decentralization of the systems, you have to take an idea on which platform you are going to use, because there are some blockchain platforms which will be extensively supporting the decentralization procedure, but some other platforms will be having a very low level of decentralization. And again, based on the consensus mechanisms or the agreement we take in between the nodes, there is some of the thing considered. For example, if you have to take decisions in a very speed rate, the consensus which provide decisions at a quick manner will be used. But that is for the real-time applications and something like that. But in some other applications where security is more bigger concern, and time frame is not that much concern, then you can go for consensus mechanisms where more people will be involved and more checking mechanisms will be there. And again, the cost of the platform is another thing, because there are many open source projects available or open source platforms available where no cost is involved, but support will be less. But in the case of some other integrated platforms, you will be having much good supports to be received. But and again, you will be having enough money to manage, but security and supports will be another concern here. Then you can go for platforms which are supported by expert companies, specifically providing systematic support, like IBM framework or something like that. And again, development tools involved will be another components. That is, we can sometimes use Python for programming, sometimes use C or C++, sometimes using PHP for some works, etc. And based on the breadth of the support of the developers, often determining the platforms, particularly for the building enterprises, is one of the biggest challenge taken place. And also the maturity of the platform is typically having a stronger interoperability, because the platform should have to have a lot of experience by managing the various situations, as well as managing much number of people, so much number of nodes. So that can be another component. And also the private blockchains can be used in some cases, and some applications or use cases public blockchains are used. And again, the performance is one of the critical factor in some other cases. And similarly, all those things has to be taken into considerations while we are going for the improvement of means what type of blockchains we are incorporating with. Now in this blockchain discussion, we will be discussing about 12 basic blockchain platforms: IBM blockchain, Tron, Stellar, Tezos, Skoda, Ethereum, Hyperledger Fabric, then OpenChain, Quorum, then Hyperledger Sawtooth, multi-chain, as well as EOS, which we have to discuss. And basically, IBM blockchain, as we know, is initiated by IBM, the pioneer company, to use blockchain for creating efficient, transparent business operations. And here, the blockchain platform of IBM is a popular form of a platform to use in all the cases. And as you know, since the company is supporting, you will be having enough support on this platform, and provides a managed and full stack blockchain as a service offering, so that it allows users to deploy their blockchain components in a very user choice environment. The users can create, use, and grow their blockchain network by using the IBM blockchain platform. And the key features here are you will be having a 30-day free trial for the users to check how much facilities you will be this blockchain provides. And also it will freely connects with the IBM's Kubernetes cluster, where interoperability will be very easy. And open source community based platform is basically over here, so that more people are supporting the system. And it offers a permissioned network, that is it will be both having some sort of private as well as some sort of public components interoperating. And this platform supports basically with Go programming and Java programming, which really involves here. And again, at the diagram at the right side provides the various logos, as well as names of various platforms which we are discussing it here. And Throne is another platform we actively use for is known as an operating system that is based on the blockchain. So since it is having the features of an operating system, the use cases related to that will be similar for that. And it mainly allows to build decentralized apps and exchanges media assets in between. And the TRX currency of Throne is used for obtain the access of specific operating softwares and functionalities in the system. And as the result, the token primary functions is to be used in the Throne platform. And Throne has created with one particular goal. It is to assist the content producers to getting better compensated for their labor, because maximum compensation for contents will be stored in the system. And this platform is based on few another ideas. One of them is that all the informations in the form is open and not never jurisdictional for a central power. That is purely it is decentralized, and the content providers can be rewarded for the digital assets with the help of TRX cryptocurrency and other currencies backed by TRS in the exchange works. Basically, the features over here is the high performance platform and can handle more than 2000 transactions per second, and also it is highly scalable and provides a very impressive throughput for the users, and also it has the multi-language and extension functionality, and this has the advantage of eliminating the counterfeit chains, so that the performance related to that will be really high. We also has to discuss about another wonderful blockchain platform, Stellar, which is again a digital currency technology based on a payment protocol. Stellar is handling millions of transactions every day, and it enables cross-border payments between the cryptocurrencies in the matter of seconds. It also resembles the blockchain-based coins in several aspects. And on the other hand, Stellar.org is perhaps the Stellar Development Foundation, is one of the non-profit organization dedicated to the financial inclusion and the tool advancement and social software separated from the company. It also provides benefits of creation, trading, and sending digital representatives of the form of monies like dollars, bitcoins, pesos, and much more. Pesos is also another digital currency, and the public owns this blockchain platform because a transaction basic charge on the Stellar platform is basically very low, and a small fee is connected with every transaction execution. So it is manageable for the normal people to function with. The charge is not intended to generate a profit, but just to serve as a distrust to the miscellaneous behaviors which will create difficulty in the system. And basically, along with that, the key features has decentralized. Here is that basically the platform is decentralized and has an open database, and it takes about 2 to 3 seconds for confirmations of transactions. And Stellar also allows multi-signatures and smart contracts to happen, and it has only a 1% fixed annual fixation inflation to occur. And another platform we can discuss is Tezos, and Tezos is founded by Walter Brittman, and is designed to provide safe and correctness of the code for the digital assets and high value use cases. It is an open source blockchain platform, and it also used across the globe for creating a decentralized blockchain network, and it performs peer-to-peer transactions and can deploy very intelligent smart contracts. It's a self-governing blockchain platform and self-amending cryptographic mechanism. The sources are very different, and this features make it unique for all the unique means because of this reason it is unique from all the blockchain platforms. It also has the basic factors to be noted are it's a self-fundamental protocol to work with, as well as it gives delegated proof of stake consensus mechanisms on-chain governance possible, and it has smart contracts and formal verifications involved in between. Another wonderful platform over here is the Corda, which is from R3. That is, the R3 company is in charge of checking with the Corda, and it is widely known as the business-oriented open source blockchain initiative. Corda can create interconnected blockchain systems that enables the transactions to be carried out safely and confidentially. It is an innovative contract platform and allows firms to deal seamlessly with one another. It permits the companies to keep track of the transaction operations in a shared ledger and eliminating the requirements of participating individuals to double check their transactions after engaging with one another. It is mainly used for sectors like construction, finance, supply chain, etc. Also, happening. And basic features here is it provides better security, and it is really agile and flexible. The open source blockchain platforms that allows the designing of the system and development process is also here. And another wonderful platform used is the Ethereum. I think Ethereum is the maximum, the young eldest as well as the maximum used framework or a platform used in the world for blockchain. And Ether is it's a cryptocurrency and known as ETH, and is really for having a standing role in managing the system, because it has the facility of manage have checking with the smart contract, and also it allows the users to create new financial applications, decentralized markets, make various games, cryptocurrency wallets, and similar facilities. The main aim of this platform is to nullify the third party's access to save the data for further financial instrument tracking. The Ethereum has the largest community of core protocol developers, then crypto economic researchers, and other mining organizations. Here, in this Ethereum, basic key features involved is that it has the platform to provide a very rapid deployment, and the smart contract functionality and Turing completeness are its most positive supporting components. It also provides features of tokenization and based on the proof of work consensus, and also support Python, CPP, and scripting languages when using with Solidity. And you can go for another supporting platform called multi-chain, where multi-chain is version of Bitcoin open source, and it is a symbol to operate, but may be used to create customized blockchain, both private as well as public. It comes with a carefully chosen to mix functionality, and also enhancements are aimed to enterprises in the commercial for the commercial users. The compatibility of the local assets and storing of more significant amount of random information appear to be really promising. The consensus-based permit administration or the consortial blockchains can be an alternative for the distinctive solutions. Here, again, the key features involved in the case of multi-chains are it has enormous tract and assets in the blockchain, and which can be used to perform multi-asset and multi-party transactions. It is following the GitHub, and also it is really ideal for data streaming, data sharing, time stamping, and encrypted archiving. It also supports C, C++, Python, JavaScript, etc. as the programming languages. And now we can discuss with a well-known blockchain platform known as EOS, and it provides the better usability of the governance, better usability of the government, and sorry, and also it is basically supporting as a in all the blockchain systems as a well-known blockchain platform, and is used to design and develop basically the scalable and secure applications. It provides the user dApps, hosting and smart contract capability, and also provides the decentralized storage of enterprise solutions. It is having the better usability for and governance, and also support the multi-processing mechanism. It has a permission schema where systematic interoperable components will be analyzed, and permission will be provided to concerned systems. The platform provides measurability and can easily be upgraded for the users to function with. Another important platform used is the Hyperledger Fabric, which is a platform that creates applications and solutions using a modular architecture. It has a membership service and the consensus involved, and enables networks of networks possible. The members of the Fabric network can use networks together in this platform, and it provides the users a secure and scalable platform to support their confidential contracts and the private transactions. Here, it is highly modular and has a very low latency of penalty, and it also can support Solidity and Ethereum virtual machine. It is pluggable consensus, and means the data can be queryable, and supports multi-language intelligence contracts to get function. Another important chain that can be discussed is the multi-chain. Sorry, multi-chain, I think we have already discussed. Open chain. Here, in the case of open chain, we have basically open source blockchain, and is designed to manage digital assets in a secure, robust, and scalable manner. It uses the partitions consensus. We will discuss the partitions consensus later in detail, and every instances in that single authority for a valid transactions is happening, and the platform is designed based on the client server architecture here, and it makes more efficient and reliable for this reason. No minor involvements exist in this platform, and also open blockchain platforms gives direct, accessible, and instant transactions possible in the system. Basically, the system includes a modular design and allows free transaction, and is very highly scalable. Means it has to create two-way pegging gateways, and is initiating intelligent contracts functionality, and it has also a unified API to function with. Another one, another 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 consortium, a platform with a very good functionality is Quorum, which is an extended version of Ethereum and is established by JP Morgan in 2015. And it is used to manage use cases demanding high speeds as well as racing execution of confidential transactions with a very high secure community of people. And Quorum is built to grow and improve in tandem with Ethereum. Basically, it does not employ a POW, that is proof of work consensus mechanism, but is relying on bot based and another technique for executing thousands of operations per second. And according to the how smart contracts and other networks are set up, Quorum can handle a bulk of Ethereum changes swiftly, and since it is only alters Ethereum's call to a limited extent, it is having a very fast functionality as well as much functional support in terms of Ethereum changes. And also it is comparatively much efficient when discussed compared with Ethereum. Another Hyperledger platform possible is the Hyperledger Sawtooth, which is under the Hyperledger umbrella, and is also another open source for a project founded by Hyperledger and the Linux Foundation, which employs an innovative consensus mechanism known as proof of elapsed time, or POET. This is a very new concept, and this mechanism is used to in conjunction with the hardware-based safety measures in technology to permit. And the trusted execution environments of the program code is to execute in stable strongholds and encrypted sports of the computer memory. According most of the typical applications here and the Hyperledger Sawtooth developers include the construction supply chain operations and adapting the Sawtooth for technical reasons such as new consensus techniques. A Sawtooth library is developed and it allows all the programmers to customize the distributed ledger to select and choose whatever parts of the Sawtooth to employ in their application. Sawtooth is also integrating the Splinter for networking, and this Splinter will allow dynamic private networks, which has a group of nodes, and the Hyperledger transacts for the transaction executions, which improves the innovating contracts as well as the consensus. It also allows users to use the basic Sawtooth library, and also provides Sprinter for the networks, which will provide more support in the fashion. And basically, when compared with when we are comparing few of the best or mostly used platforms here, they comes around Ethereum, Hyperledger, Fabric, R3, Corda, Ripple, and Quorum, where all the first Ethereum as well as Hyperledger Fabric as interoperable in the various industries, whereas Corda and Ripple are more used in financial services. And also the management of these functions are normally by various developers, except the Corda will be run by the R3 consortium, and Ripple will be done by the Ripple Labs. The other Hyperledger Fabric will be functioning with the Linux Foundation, and Quorum is involved with, since it is very it's a fork of Ethereum. It is documents functioning with the Ethereum developers, but ideated by JP Morgan. And the various ledger types over here is Ethereum is permissionless, and all other four ones are permission. And both Ethereum and Ripple uses cryptocurrencies in that. Ethereum has Ether as the currency, and Ripple will be using XRP, and no others are using any cryptocurrencies involved. The providers are having very good experience normally, except the Quorum and Ripple, where they are new to the technology. And share of engagements vary from 52% to 4% regarding the functionalities. And only for those platforms with having cryptocurrency, that is both Ethereum and Ripple, they are having coin market capitalization of a very high number, and others, since they are not using cryptocurrencies, they are not working them. And for Ethereum, you are using the proof of work. Hyperledger Fabric uses pluggable framework, as well as Arthrocoda is using the same for the consensus, and Ripple is using the probabilistic voting, and Quorum is using the majority voting for its functionality purposes. And smarter contracts functionality is available for all the platforms except Ripple, and but still its performance is very excellent when compared with the in the programming arena. And we should have to discuss about the information of blockchains in various platforms, or why various platforms are incorporated. Presently, nowadays, we use the blockchain to an increasing extent, and therefore people need a better and user-friendly platforms with the new age technologies. For this reason, it uses and access for Bitcoin are increasing very rapidly, and many organizations are taking the Bitcoins and as a means of transaction. So the Bitcoins users need to secure and good platforms to access and make that Bitcoin transaction possible. And for that, new platforms were incorporated. And the scope of blockchain is also increasing the day by day. And more people who are doing courses in blockchain, and beginners will have always checking for excellent platforms to start their blockchain functionality. For this reason, I think maximum facilities should have to be incorporated so that new technologies will be checked and found by the new people who are into the industry. And also, the platforms are well known for their and means created professionally, and all the professionals and beginners can use this platforms system very easily because of the its designing process. And the blockchain also has a very every transactions encoded and connected to the initial transactions, as we have previously discussed. And the blockchain is significantly more reliable than a traditional logbook method. So because of this, blockchain comprises of complex strings of mathematical values that cannot be changed or created. The unchangeable and uncorruptible characteristics of blockchains make it safer, as well as it protects against the tampering and hacking of the data. Also, blockchain eliminates the requirement of intermediaries for various operations. We have discussed about it in detail. So the transactions as well as the real estate mechanisms can be easily checked, and the only possible due to the decentralization character of the platform, and facilitating peer-to-peer cross-border payment will happen with the virtual accuracy, and blockchain allows the speed transaction that can traditionally financial for various financial institutions. Here, the trade of items in the documents of a blockchain is an external audit is provided. Additional audit is provided for that, but the audit determines whether the item arrived from, and this is possible from a blockchain ledger. This is assisting exchange related organizations and is enhancing the privacy as well as avoiding the corruption from the system. But it could also help to confirm the legitimacy of traded items, which is already done. And also, it can be used to follow the supply channel from producers to the distributors in areas like medicine and offer indisputable proof for the purchase of art commodity, etc. Here, there are since there are different types of blockchains, the people needs to understand what type of blockchain is suitable for each functioning. For that, we have discussed the first diagrams on what are means with the help of that block, where whatever components has to be taken care for identifying which platform is to be used, and the features of each platforms. About 12 platforms were very critically analyzed and discussed, and the use of growth and it has to predict up to 30% of the project will take place in blockchain globally after 2021, and a lot of job requirements are up here, but very few people are really involved in this area, so that the people who are involved are getting a very high payment for for their task. And here we are again coming back. We are discussing the research challenges at a very great speed because we are only having 20 minutes. Basically, research challenges happens in the four basic components, where the distributed ledger, consensus, security, as well as smart contract. There is a wide range of blockchain applications in demand. So where in the case of ledger, you are directly dealing with the data, and the data layer is involving, and a lot of researches has to happen to manage the query analytics and its requirements. And also, Fabric supports many pluggable data storage like document store, RDBMS, NoSQL, etc., where much systematic research has to be done because presently storage in the blockchain platforms to handle and are much inefficient, because blockchain is only having the capability to store a very less number of data. And also, some platforms that support relational databases are serially having the executed transactions, but still database in blockchain has a lot of limitations to for the storage as well as management, and for this reason much challenges are happening here. And again, the DBMS implementation is also happening, and implement checked, and the blockchain integrity support provinces has to be easily queryable. Who has when and how you have modified the data has to be checked. Which set of transactions modified the particular element that has to be checked. And similarly, lot of open questions is available in the management of databases and its systems regarding the system. And now data trust is another problem which we have identified, but since the limitation of time, we are moving a bit faster at this pace. Here, since there are different entities involved in the system, you should have to connect with these entities and check for the quality of data provided and how much it is provided. And for that, you should have to integrate various systems like immutability or audibility and similar capabilities has to be leveraged for making a systematic progress in the system. And another challenge is regarding the security. As we know, a lot of issues are happening in in the case of managing the security. Day by day, different threats are coming in the scenario, and when when we are trying for making the system more secure, it may directly affect the scalability of the system because more and more restrictions and rigid algorithms will be involving where it adversely affect the scalability of the system. For this reason, you have to involve much more into ensure that systems are scalable as well as it is secure, and we have to take steps in checking for the privacy as well as anonymity, because all these nodes are having the distributed ledger, and all these nodes will be having data stored in each nodes, and so that the data should have to have anonymity as well as privacy to be maintained. And also regarding the system security, blockchain increases the attacking surface of the for the data theft because if the data is stored with the various entities and it also has to prevent malicious contractors from stealing the data. Another important research issues is the consensus, where you have a lot of problems happening because taking consensus in the case of Bitcoin and other related components are very slow. 2 to 5 transactions per second is happening, but in a banking network, you need to have 4,000 transactions per second, or in a business network, you need more than 2,000 transactions per second. For this, in Google, you are having many lakhs of transactions per second. For this reason, there has to be improved. The system has to be improved to accommodate more number of transactions per second should be taken care. And here, permission network scales transactions output, but not in terms of the number of nodes. Here, exploration of consensus algorithms, including the different fault models, has to be managed in the case of the consensus of the system. So, another important challenge happening is the smart contract, where you can sign and go. Means smart contract where you have various templates there, and according to the templates, you have to go for that contract. And verification of smart contracts has to be taken, and generating means company reports and managing it in the systematic way has to be done. And here another one of the great question is that if smart contract is managing the system, what is the legal state of the smart contract? Who is going to legally approve each transaction happening? So there should be a legal backup for each transaction. So that is another headache over there. And also various platforms will be using various type of smart contracts, and standardization and interoperability between these operations are very toughly managed. So these are the research areas regarding the for the specific components. And I will be discussing about the digital identity, where it is a key enabler for digital world interactions. All the people in the world, about 67 percentage of the people in the world are having digital storage of data, and here it has the information about your education, profession, work, health, habits, and sentiments, etc. You will be having the information, and also each person will be having its own national ID along with the address, work-related ID cards, driving licenses, tax-related ID process, or that is PAN or something like that. Then say social security ID, and similarly many components which I am respecting will be involved. And also along with that, you will be having components to interact with. That is, you can means person-to-person interaction has to be taken with this ID, as well as the person-to-business interoperations can be taken in the case of this. And the problems for the individuals over here, as well as there are many challenges happening in businesses, and many issues in the case of government, which we have already seen. For example, in the case of government, protecting ID documents is a very uh, disputed issue, where counterfeiting, alterations, and theft, etc., can happen. Also, in the case of business, there are identity thefts may happen, data breach can happen, forgery can happen. Then cost management, how complexity, all etc., has to be taken here. Here, similarly, all the different stages, it has to be taken here. And here you are presently checking with this KYC, which is the Aadhaar or some digital assets like that, which will be integrated with various organizations, including the government as well as enterprises. And this service will be integrated with blockchain, where you will be having a better in managerial area. And with the help of this KYC shared between the banks as well as the government or government related mechanisms, you can reduce the expenses to manage such multiple function issues, so that each bank will be having specific management or something like that. Also, shared KYC will be providing various scenarios where you will check for the customer on the blockchain in the case of a new corporate customer, and the customer will be checking for signing in the consent form, and all the details and identification informations are collected. And then at this stage, it is going to collect the verification entry to the government service, where you are interconnecting or integrating that with the government's identification mechanism. Then a watch list is taken, and it is screened with the watch list, and various questions and answers related to this will be checked, and all the documents related to these received from the questions and answers will be hashed on the form of blockchain, and then approved to an open account, where you will be having means direct mechanism. Similar, another use case is the current education system, where we are not discussing it today because of the time issues, where a blockchain can be component. Now we will be discussing about various use cases here in the case of the system, where you know that banking can be really interoperated with blockchains, where you can identify that macro perspective, have several critical critical shows, storehouses and transfer hubs for the values. And it has a digitalized, secure and transfer ledger. Blockchain could serve the same function, injecting the enhanced accuracy and information sharing the financial ecosystem. And in the case of various companies like BanQ is presently working with the facility of payments to farmers in Zambia. And JP Morgan has entered in the blockchain phase with JPM Coin, which is intended to use the facilitate the transaction between the institutional accounts. In the case of hedge funds, it is backed by various capital ventures and takes the hedge fund model and employing a bunch of transactions and funds and making it decentralized. Numerous set of thousands of disparately located coins are encrypted in the datasets and ask them to build perspective models for the best contributors and reward it with the tokens, so that it takes a strategy and creates a meta model and makes it in trading. And with this models, data scientists expect less competition in more invisible collaboration. And another use cases that involve can be discussed like voting, where you can integrate electronics authentication for voters ID, and secure recording can be done to keep track votes, and the trusted tallies and determine the winner when integrated with blockchain. I think in future blockchain tools could serve as a foundational infrastructure for the casting, tracking, and the counting boards, and potentially eliminating the need of recounting by taking water frauds and foul plays off the table. And also by capturing the votes as a transaction through blockchain, the governments and voters would have a verifiable audit trail and ensuring no votes has changed or removed and no illegitimate voters has added. One of the in the case of to put forth is voting startup called Follow My Vote, where they have released an alpha version. And if the stake of weighted blockchain and voting situations are taken care, and also in the case of internet advertising is a very important area where you are spending lakhs and lakhs of money in the for trusting. I mean, in the case of means getting people aware and acknowledged. But we don't know how much effect it is getting over internet. So for here, the targeted audience can be added and better checked with a data in their spending data of spending habits, and focusing on that some components can be done, and related to that blockchain integration can be done, makes much more functional in the system. And also another thing is the critical infrastructure security, where current internet architectures have proven and easy to hack, especially when with IoT devices. IoT hacking is very common. Here, the critical infrastructures like power plants and transportations will become equipped with connected sensors, and the risk to the civil society is very high. Uh, some companies are employing blockchain transfer ledgers to share the security data across industrial networks. That makes it more easy to get functional. And also this ride sharing and car leasing and sales are another important areas of blockchain integration, because in the case of ride sharing, we don't know the integrity of the people who are riding with us. So blockchain integration can be done, and who all are moving from where to where can be traced in this case. And leasing cars are creating a lot of headaches for the people who are making leasing the cars, because some other people will be taking it over and moving around, but they won't be returning the car or returning the amount, or some such situations may occur where the business may directly go to a loss. And the crypto exchanges over here are another very important areas where blockchain reduces the conventional cybersecurity risk, whereby simply removing the need of the human intermediaries and listening to the threats of hacking. All these things can be directly done with the help of blockchain. And we can also have a good role of blockchain in real estate, where intermediaries can be removed, and you can track the development of a building and its property deeds and license, and more things can be integrated with blockchain, so that it makes more easy for the people to manage. Healthcare is a very sensible area where blockchain can be incorporated, where medicine can be tracked, patient can be tracked, then the credibility of the hospital can be tracked. All those things, and also this reports, confidential reports of the health will be with the hospitals, that can be checked. All those things can have in the healthcare. And regarding the energy management, as we know, in the grid and all, getting it managed is a very tough task, where to distribute the power. But using the blockchain in grid, you can take smart contracts for systematically dividing the energy to different areas, which is pre-connected and pre-secured. And also another incorporation is for gift cards and other loyalty programs, and also for gun tracking, even not in India, but in US and other Eastern countries. You know that many people are using guns and misusing it to a great extent, even by people who are studying in schools are using guns to create very dark nights for many people. And these guns can be sensibly tracked, its functional and who using it, etc., can be taken care. And that makes a lot of sense in managing the discipline and law and order in various countries. It also is another case of retail marketing, where open bazaars are developing decentralized blockchain utilities in connect buyers and sellers without middlemen, and directly you can buy or sell, where the cost is reduced to a great extent, as well as the credibility of the material is clearly identified. For this reason, at retail sectors also we can use a lot. And regarding the human resource management, if you are having a CV with certain certificates, then you can go for applying, and the company can easily check your certificates and your credibility, if the university has connected that specific certificate degree to blockchain, or your company will be tracing with your criminal records in the criminal logs or something like that, where easily it can be traced when integrated with blockchain. And also for charity, many people are providing funds, but you don't know how it is utilized. But here people will be telling that for a single situation, like, they will be intimating that some money has to be utilized, but we don't know how we can trace this money used for charity. Here also, we have a very good areas where you can check with the clarity regarding the matter, and you will be getting a more ideas regarding the same. So that's for from my side. I think many have understood the situations, and if you are having any doubts or any clarification required, please ask. Sorry that I should have to skip some things, and I had to move a bit fast because of the restricted time. But you can ask your doubts and make it clear.
Is there any queries from participant side? Actually, all the participants are asking your materials, sir, presentation material. Really, it's super, sir.
I'll be surely share it with you, madam. You can use that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there any queries from audience side, participants? Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your informative and valuable session.
Thank you.
Actually, your session is mind-blowing. We have gained knowledge and know more about various scalable blockchain platforms. We also got an idea about research challenges in data layer, like in Hyperledger, fabric security and privacy, consensus, smart contracts, problems for individuals, and challenges for government and problems. You have given more use cases. Those are really very useful, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. And
Thank you very
also,
much, sir.
I am really honored to make me the guest in your inaugural session, but unfortunately, I was having some hospital issues, and so I couldn't properly connect with you during that time. I'm really sorry for the discomfort caused because I was not in a proper situations to manage, but it was a specific situation, so I couldn't take proper time to intimate you also. Anyway, I think I have managed better.
Okay, sir. No problem, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Is there any feedback from participant side?
Good evening to all. I am Kavita from University College of Engineering, Villupuram. Really, the session is very nice. Sir has touched on most of the top platforms of the blockchain, the research area and use cases. Everything is very clearly expressed to us. He also addressed the research challenges, especially the security and privacy. So, some of the platforms like Ripple, R3 Cards, Hyperledger, Quorum, Ethereum, like that, sir. Really, it's a very informative session. Thanks, sir. Ma'am, thanks for your for organizing this such a wonderful blockchain FDP. Really, we want to thank on behalf of all the participants. I am thanking you once again. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Kavita, ma'am. Thank you. Well, session 3 is over. Now I will post the attendance and feedback form for the session 3 in the chat box. Okay, fine. Participants leave the session and will join tomorrow by 9 a.m. 9 to 9:15 a.m. Thank you all.